I'm from the Student Accounts Office. My name is Laron. Student Accounts is part of finance, but it's the part that deals specifically with student accounts. And first of all, we're going to talk about the way we bill your fees. We only bill fees one term at a time. So the amount that you see on your bill right now is only for the fall term. So I'm sure that you've all seen that because we sent out an email yesterday notifying you that there are fees on your account and you can go check your bill. One of the things that's going to be very important to you, and we will be talking about it shortly, is the concept of becoming fees arranged. Keep that concept in your mind as we go through the discussion, because I'm going to explain how to become fees arranged and why it's so important. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about your student account. Your student account is available only on Quest. We don't mail anything out to you, not a statement, not a bill, not a receipt. You can get to your student account yourself by logging into Quest. And that would be, after that, you go into Student Center, click on Finances, and then on Account Inquiry, and you'll see the term Fall 2014. And if you click on that, then you'll see a detailed list of all the charges to your account. And once you've made your payment, you'll be able to see the payment there as well. Now we're going to ask a question. I have a question for you. And the question is, have you checked your uwaterloo.ca email inbox? That's great, because you know what? That's the only place that we're going to send information to you about your student account. So you need to be checking it, or you're going to miss important instructions to make sure that you stay in good standing with your finances at the university. When you log into your account and click on Fall 2014, and you will see a page that looks similar to what you see on the screen right now. It's an account details page. If you scroll right to the bottom of that page, you see where the arrow is pointing at a little yellow rectangle. That rectangle says email on it. If you click on that, you will have an opportunity to type in an email address. That email address can be your own, but it can also be, and probably more likely will be, someone else who's actually paying your fees. If you type in their email address, within a few moments, they will get a copy of your bill, and it's got a Waterloo logo at the top and can be used as a bill if they want to take it to pay your fees at the bank and so on and so forth. So if you use that, type in the email address, you can send it as often as you want, and then later on after your payment is posted, you can try using that again and it will be your receipt. Tax receipts, on the other hand, are only produced once a year in February, and you will also be able to find that in the Finances section on Quest. And your tax receipt is going to reflect your tuition and some of your incidental fees, not all of them qualify for a tax receipt, that were charged to you in the previous academic year. So one thing to bear in mind is that although you're going to have your winter term fees due before the end of the year, the winter term is actually technically in the 2015 year, so it won't be showing on your February receipt. Only the fall term will. Another thing that's really popular right now, and many of your parents will be talking about this, if they have set up an RESP to save money to help pay for your education, they need to contact their financial institution and find out what's involved in getting that money out. They all have a different routine for giving you access to that funding. And often what they're going to need is something that confirms that you are a student in the fall term. So if they need a form filled out, or if they need a verification of enrollment letter, they need to contact the registrar's office, not the finance student accounts office, because we don't do that, they do. So that's a shortcut for you. One of the other important things about your student account is that it is your student account. It is not your parents', it's not anyone else's. It is private, and unfortunately, we cannot share any information about your student account with anyone, even if they're paying your bill, unless you have sent us an email at our office to let us know that we can share. Otherwise, you can give your parents or whoever access to your account information by giving them your Quest login. But if you're not comfortable doing that, another thing that you can do is send an email to studentaccounts@uwaterloo.ca and actually authorize us to release that information to whomever. You have to name specifically who it is. If you've already done that for another department on campus, you still have to do it for us. We don't have access to each other's files, so you can't say, well, I already gave that to Student Awards, so you can just do it for my mom this time. You need to actually send us a separate authorization to do that. You are the one responsible for your student account. We recommend that you log into your student account at least once a week for the month of September, and make sure that you know that everything is in good standing. Especially if your parents are the ones paying your fees, you may not think normally to check and make sure the payment actually showed up, or that the balance is still the same as it was when you gave them the bill. And you need to be the one that's responsible for communicating changes to them and sending them updates on your account regularly. One last thing, and this may be something that your parent will want to know about, is where is the health and dental coverage billed? It's billed under the Fed of Students Administered Fees item on your list of charges. It's not obvious that it's in there because that's actually a bundled fee that includes your charges for the health and dental plan, the bus pass, and a $1 contribution to the Student Refugee Fund. So all of that's bundled together, and it's not obvious that's the health coverage. I have a question for you. Are you covered under another health insurance plan for your prescriptions and your dental work? Okay, so sounds like there are a few people out there who need to go ask their parents if they have coverage under another plan. You can opt out of the coverage, but you must do it during the change of coverage period. That's what they call it. We don't administer the plan ourselves. There's a company called Student Care that administers the health and dental plans, and they have a time frame within which you need to do your opting out in order to be refunded. You'll need to pay the fee every term to your student account to get fees arranged, but you can opt out once a year in the first 3 weeks of the fall term. So that's from beginning of September to September 26, 2014. Then you can opt out online at that website that I have on the screen there, www.ihaveaplan.ca. And you can go in now to see what the coverages are in case you want to keep the coverage. And it is very good coverage, especially for a student plan. But if it turns out your parents insist that you opt out, then you'll need to do it in September. You can't do it yet. And if you miss that change of coverage period, you cannot opt out at all year long. If you do successfully opt out, you will get a refund check directly from Student Care once each term.